But our guy Matt Bowers has been all over news feeds, all over your timelines, and right now all over downtown Atlanta as he paid for 8 billboards with messages aimed towards the NFL about Sunday's missed calls in the NFC Championship game. Time featured him at time.com. He describes himself as an entrepreneur on his Twitter account. He owns some car dealerships along the Gulf Coast, and he's kind enough to join us here on this Thursday morning. Matt, good morning, man. Thanks for the time.
Hey, good morning. That's quite the intro, Jordy. Thanks.
Yes, absolutely, man. Tell me about your experience on Sunday.
I mean, I felt the same way everybody else felt, and then, I didn't know what I could. I felt powerless. Probably is the best way to put it.
So you were in the dome. You were in the dome.
Yeah, I was in the dome.
Yeah.
I was sweet in the dome with all my, friends, family, the people I work with, and then I woke up the next morning, and then I turned on the radio, and the very first thing I hear are national people talking about the call, I had an Atlanta fan. Well, I've had a lot of, I've taken some bullets, right on Twitter.
Sure.
And I had somebody say to me, what were the signs going to say? Like somehow insinuating that I had bought them beforehand, and it's not how that happened. I woke up, I was literally that mad and angry. I called up Lamar Outdoor Advertising in Atlanta, and I said, this is what I want to do. And they said, okay, well, this is what it's going to cost. I said, hold on. I called American Express to make sure I had enough limit on my card. And I said, let's rock and roll. So I want them up in 30 minutes.
Wow, man.
And that's kind of how it started.
So, side note, I'm in advertising sales. I can help you out off the air if you can spend money like
bet.
that. But so what's the end game? I mean, like, have you heard from the NFL?
No, the NFL. Yeah. No. I've heard from thousands and thousands of people from all over the place, but not the NFL. I mean, what's the end game? I don't know. I mean, it's the NFL, right? I mean, there's zero, whatever. I mean, what I hope. I mean, I'd hope that every official, I'd hope league officials, I'd hope that, their left hand is on a Bible and their right hand's in the air and, sitting in front of a federal judge. What do I think's happening now? I think they're running around, redacting phone numbers and text messages and what's their exposure. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. It's not what the company line is. But I think the moment, the game, the score of the game, the finality of the call, I honestly believe that impacted the call because they saw it. Every 55 million people saw it. It's hard to say they missed the call. They didn't miss anything.
Matt, forgive me if I don't know this already. Are you running this just up into the Super Bowl, or is it going to be past that? How long do these signs?
I'm running this the day after the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I mean, I'm running these billboards, I should say.
Right.
So I love the fact that you have the support from the players on Twitter. I mean, if you're following this thing on social media, you can see that Alvin Kamara and Mike Thomas are kind of going back and forth with you. What's your relationship like with those guys, and how have you heard from them since the game?
Well, I've known, a lot of people in New Orleans that, I mean, I own a bunch of car dealerships in New Orleans and some in Nashville and Mobile, but, people in New Orleans know me. They know the fact that, Mike Thomas, Alvin Kamara does stuff, for me, and the car dealerships that I own. So I have a relationship with him, and he's good. Mike Thomas, Mike Thomas is Mike Thomas, man. You know what I mean? So he says what he wants to say.
Yeah.
But I will say this. This is interesting to note. I don't think anybody knows. I've had dozens and dozens of people connected to NFL players, coaches, coaching staff members, I should say, that have reached out to me in one way, shape, or form and said that, good for you. We can't say anything, right?
Yeah.
Or, stuff like that. And I get it, man. Look, if I was Mike Thomas or Alvin or whatever, I'm glad they did what they did and support me. It'd be a tough call, man. Those guys are young. you know, they're not set for life by any means, and that's a league that's, in my opinion, that's shown the proclivity to exclude people, you know, and with zero accountability for that fact either. So I get it. There's not a lot these guys can really say.
No, I get it, man. And look, I appreciate you buying the billboards and saying it for us, really and truly. I mean, we got somebody in the huddle. Jordy, how about just going to therapy? I get it. I mean, like, it's just tough, man. It's tough to every time you're just suffocated by it. I mean, every time you look around, every time you just turn on anything, listen to anything, there it is. And, you know, you hate the fact that you're breaking down.
To us there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You hate the fact that you're talking about Brady and golf when you could be talking about Brady and Breeze. That's the only thing.
I mean, you know, that's it. They did it to us in the Superdome, and it didn't. You know, it didn't sit right with me, and I've told other media, but I mean, look, I've had, I don't even know, tens of thousands of people call me names, they're threatening to kill me. I've had 5 or 6 death threats. I've had all these things, and I've had the majority of people say, "Hey, look, man, get over it." There was one call, you know, look, there was a holding call in first quarter, and I said, "Look, I'll get over it, but I'm going to do this for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to torment these, you know what? Okay, and then I'm going to get over it. Okay, but not like a minute before then. Until I'm ready. That's it."
Matt, I'm riding with you, bro. I got shotgun in your ride, man. I'm calling you when we get off the air about advertising sales for sure. Thank you for this morning, man. Thanks for this.
See ya.
All right, man. There he is, Matt Bowers checking in from New Orleans.